Well, I am like super duper excited. My name is Janette Robinson Flint. I'm the executive director of Black Women for Wellness. But today I am your co-host with I'm Just Saying, two Black women with opinion. And I'm super excited because we have Jessabelle Thunder here to talk to us. Yay!
Thank you.
Okay, so should I go into the bio? Here's a bio.
Nope.
Where Jessabelle Thunder is an internationally acclaimed, award-winning burlesque performer with nearly a decade of experience and a dance background that blends glamour with powerful neo-burlesque influences. So that decade is really almost 2 decades, isn't it?
Almost, yeah.
Yeah,
Long time.
okay. Born and raised in Los Angeles, she began her burlesque journey in 2009 and quickly rose to prominence, earning recognition such as being named one of LA's top performers by Time Out magazine in 2013. She was headline festival worldwide, competed at the Burlesque Hall of Fame and New Orleans Burlesque Festival, and has appeared in productions by Dita Von Teese, including Strip, Hooray, Hooray, and Follies. In 2018, she was named first runner-up Princess of Burlesque at the Miss Exotic World Competition and consistently ranked among the top 50 most influential figures in 21st Century Burlesque, reaching number 8 in 2020, known for her flirtatious.
And number 1 in 2025.
There you go. Heartfelt and commanding performances, Jessabelle Thunder continues to captivate audiences as a true force of nature. So you can give us your Instagram and wherever else we need to find you.
Yeah, that was such a long bio.
But you should hear your bio every now and then, so you know how fabulous you are, because sometimes we forget.
It's true.
Yeah.
I do forget. Sometimes I have to remind myself I've done a lot more than I think I've done, and that I've done a good amount when I think I'm not doing enough. I have to stop and take myself out of my
You are doing a lot.
I do a lot.
Yeah. So back in 2008, what was it that inspired you to look at burlesque? What's the origin story?
My origin story, oh my gosh, started, how long do we have? I'll try to cut it short-ish. Okay. But I was obsessed with celebrities and celebrity things back in the day, magazines like Entertainment Weekly and People Magazine. And so I was fixated on finding celebrity hotspots and then going to them. Restaurants, bars, whatever it was. I was like, I have to go and check these things off my list. And one of the things on my list is Forty-Deuce, which was a burlesque club back in the day in Hollywood. Okay. And so that was something I had to go to, but at that time I wasn't 21. So when I turned 21, they had closed the one in Los Angeles, and I was like, I've heard about this so much. It was live band, and then
what? No fake ID?
No fake ID. I wasn't that kind of person.
I had fake IDs for forever, but okay, go ahead.
I went to a private school my whole life, so I was just like, I have to be good. That's a whole other part of my story.
Wow, you went to private school being good. Okay, burlesque.
I know.
Okay, all right. So
and then now here I am, but.
Yeah, so
but
okay, so you didn't get to 40
So I didn't get to that one, but they had one in Las Vegas, and I was enamored. I was obsessed with it. The live, I love music and I love dance, even though I wasn't brought up taking dance classes. But I love movement. I love watching people dance. I love to move to music, so I was obsessed with it. Came back to LA, and I was like, I have to find more burlesque shows in Los Angeles. So I went to a bunch, but never thought I could ever do it. I didn't know what it was like. And I also, in the back of my mind, was like, I could never do it. Especially after seeing Forty-Deuce and seeing all the dancers that don't look anything like me.
Okay.
At that time.
No black dancers.
Not that I recall at that time. When I was seeing it, there wasn't. And even in LA, I don't quite remember seeing many until I got introduced to the first one once I took classes. Okay. Then it was like, oh, wait, there's more people? There's more black people? Amazing. But at the first time, I didn't know. So I never thought I could do it. Then a boyfriend at the time took me to Denver, Colorado, went to see another show, and they had a student showcase. And that's when I was like, I turned to him and I was like, you can do this as a student and graduate in a school of burlesque? So he came back to LA. He put me in a class as a surprise. And my legit first reaction was, I don't want to do this.
Okay. What was the scary part?
The scary part is I was always someone that wanted to be in the background. Wanted to be in the background, but also wanted to be in the forefront. Is that the word? In the front. but I was always like, I don't think I belong in the front, so let me just stay at the back. I want to participate, but not be the front person. So it was a little bit scary, but at that time, and then meeting new people, I wasn't ever really the people person. I was really quite shy and like reserved and just afraid to talk to people I didn't know. And so all of that combined, and then having a dance class, I was like, this is a lot. So
Had you taken dance classes before?
Like one-off in like community college. After I graduated, I went to community college, takes the classes in between grad school. So I was like, let me take a dance class and just try it. So that was like a graded thing, kind of different. But this was like an open dance class kind of thing for burlesque. And anyway, all that to say, he pushed me to do it. And so here I am.
Here you are.
Here I am.
Okay. A lot of times, I want to talk about the body beautiful, right? And how I think that in many Black communities, a lot of religions and a lot of history keep us being very ashamed and very inward with our body. And it sounds like if you were at private school being the good girl, that might have been part of what was being taught with you also.
Yeah.
So how did you get past that?
I had to unlearn a lot of things in life. Still constantly unlearning things. But I really think burlesque has played a huge part in me unlearning and relearning things about myself and about the way the world works. Oftentimes I think to myself, like, who would I be and where would I be if I hadn't had burlesque? Like, I have no idea. Like, I could have been a nun for all I know. I don't know. Like, it could have gone that way. No shade to nuns, but it could have gone that way.
I can see the burlesque show starting out in the habit, right?
People have done that. It's true. But, I remember my first, time changing in front of people in burlesque, changing for a show. And I would go to a corner of the room because I was just, afraid of my body, but I knew it was going to show it on stage. This weird, dichotomy thing happening. But I would hide under a robe and change. It was because I was taught for so long in religious schools and school settings that it was shameful. And also I think part of that is also society and the way that we're represented on television and movies. And so I never really saw my truth, I guess. My perspective was I never really saw Black women's bodies as this glamorous, confident, burlesque, sparkly thing. I didn't really know that was a thing that could happen. I could see or I could be, right? So I just had to unlearn all of that, and being thrown into burlesque and meeting all these different people from all around the world and different shapes and colors, and it just opened my brain up to so much more. It was just.
So let's be practical for a moment, because I do know a lot of Black women who are not comfortable in their own skin. So what would be 3 tips we would give to folks to become comfortable or start on that road to be comfortable in our own skin?
Yeah, I think that's a big question. I really think sometimes you just gotta shut out noise from society and just
shut out those media stereotypes.
Yeah.
So much easier said than done.
It is I'm like I said, I'm still constantly learning, even though I get on stage by myself and take my clothes off for people. It's still a process that I have to work through, but constantly learning and growing basically. But I really think shutting out the noise, trying to as much as possible, and then just kind of putting yourself out there and wearing the things you feel like you want to wear, and just trying to shut people out as much as possible. People are always going to have an opinion about the way you look. It's really about shutting out some of those voices and overpowering it with your inner voice. And that takes a lot of work. And I think burlesque pushed me into that, because it was just fight or flight. Here you go. You're going on stage, you're going to do this thing. And instead of running from it, I was open to it, and I just said, I'm gonna do this. So every day, to this day, even when I walk outside and I'm not in burlesque attire, I'm in my regular gremlin state, I have to push voices out of my head and just be you know what, it's fine. You can get on stage and take your clothes off. You can go outside the house and wear whatever you want to wear, and just, if people are looking,
you just do you.
You just do you.
Do you.
And it takes work. It's not an instant thing. You just gotta constantly. It's that saying, fake it till you make it. I truly believe that is a real thing.
Okay.
And it really shapes your thinking.
Okay, so I'm hearing one thing, two things, three things. Okay, so number one, that burlesque helps you build your self-esteem and helps you feel better about your body, right?
Yeah.
And helps you filter out those naysayers and the media stereotypes around Black women in our bodies and how we should hide them and be shamed and that type of thing. So burlesque has that benefit. Right?
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Okay. So, and it also has that benefit. It's taking you around the world. Where have you been?
12 countries, 4 continents, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. The UK, which is like my favorite. It's my home away from home. I'm always there. UK, I went to Germany recently, Australia, Japan, Italy, France, so you name it.
Okay.
Prague. I went to Czech Republic. I went to Poland.
Yeah.
Very random.
There's burlesque in Poland.
There's burlesque everywhere.
It just has to get on your radar.
Yeah, it really does.
So how are you received as like a Black woman? Because I know that the comment when we think of burlesque a lot, we think of white women. So when you show up in these international global spaces, are they like, or are they like woohoo, or what's the reception like?
I think it's mostly woohoo. Once, I don't know that anyone's ever had a negative, like outward facing negative thing to say or boo or hiss or things like that. I haven't heard that. Could they be doing that internally? Possibly. But I think there's more cheers and like things like that. But I find it really kind of cool that some people, if I'm not on a flyer, which happens, sometimes they just put names on a flyer, I get kind of a little bit of joy when people announce all my accolades in a different country where there might not be a lot of Black people, or even Black people. There's no Black people doing burlesque. That's very common in all these other countries. But I'll hear them say my accolades, and then I'll step out on stage, and it's almost like this another level of cheering, because maybe they weren't expecting a Black person to come out. That's the way my mind kind of thinks about it. Yeah. They're just like, oh, all these accolades, who could it be? And then you see this like Black body, and they're just like, that was unexpected. And they're excited. And then I think once I perform and they get a vibe for me and what my style is, I think people I think I can win most people over. Okay. I hope, but
not even trying. Just like you're just doing what you do, right?
And I do get people that kind of like, everyone gets that. It's kind of like look down, look away, or they look uninterested. And I might play with them for a second, but then I go, "That's you. I'm going to move on to the people that are enjoying this." Before, when I started doing burlesque, that was not the vibe for me. I was just like, I would take that home, and I would be like, "Oh my God, they hated me, and they hated what I did. They don't like the way I look." And the more I just kept doing it and experiencing different audiences and people, the more I was like, that's you. That's your issue that you're having, whatever that is. If you're not having a good time or if you're not liking me, that's fine. Move on to the next people that are enjoying it.
All right.
Yeah.
So I also learned from my question about what 3 things. You didn't have to be a dancer.
No, that's the joy of burlesque. The burlesque that there's burlesque. There's lots of elements of burlesque. There's some burlesque that are very nightclubby, like 40 Deuce. Like when I saw that was very much like trained ballet dancer women, which they were flexible, they were thin, like you can see like they had training. But there are also shows that I had done in the past that are more like, I'm trying to think, like kind of going back to burlesque's origins, where it was like kind of comedic and it was a variety show, it was playful, artsy, like things like that. And so those spaces kind of have everybody, basically. But yeah, so I did not have to have any dance training to get into those shows. They just want you to be good, entertaining.
Okay, so you said there are different elements of burlesque. So you said it's the 40 Deuce was like very trained, very Las Vegas showcase, right? And then there's the nightclubs. I saw you at a place in Hollywood. It was like a jazz club.
Which one was it? Remind me. Jazz club.
Don't remember the name.
Was
of
it when I did Brown Sugar?
Was that not? I had heard about Brown Sugar. Tell us about Brown Sugar.
Oh yeah, Brown Sugar Burlesque is a show that I co-produce. Okay. Because for ages, I love, like I said, I love music. I love live music. So I wanted to have a live band that would do R&B covers. and I wanted it to be an all-black cast because when I do shows, even locally, like when I travel to Europe, it's expected that audiences are mostly going to be white. But when I'm here in LA doing shows, it's rare that I see black people or a bunch of black people in the audience. And so I thought to myself, do we not think this is for us? You know? And so I was like, how do I bring more black audiences in? Because I think people would enjoy this. I really do. If they saw it, if they knew what it was and saw it, they might enjoy it. And so Brown Sugar, my co-producer Mariah, she comes from like the spirits world, and she was kind of seeing a similar thing in the spirits world, like at bars as bartenders, like alcohol and things like that. So she's black as well.
Wait a minute, a barista?
Like a bartender. Like she comes from that, like, she was a bartender, but she also has experience in like brand ambassadors for alcohol brands and things like that.
So we mixed the alcohol and the brands and came up with a club concept called Brown Sugar.
Brown Sugar, because she was having the same kind of things. She was seeing the same kind of things where there weren't a lot of black bartenders or black brand ambassadors for alcohol brands. So she was like, I want to do this. And I bring it with the spirits, and you want to do this and bring it with the burlesque. Like, let's combine forces and make a thing happen. And so we did, and people really enjoyed it. We had, like, every show was sold out.
Ooh, nice.
We had, like, Cree Summer was in our audience, like, for four out of the 5 shows we did. She brought more people in. It was, like, really epic. Right now, we're trying to find sponsors in a venue so we can keep doing it. But yeah, it was like, it was a wonderful experience, and it was so great that first show we had to see so many black people in the audience, like having a blast, like enjoying the burlesque, but also the live music. People were getting up and dancing in between the sets. Like it was, it's like, I love performing burlesque in front of anybody, but there's a different level that you experience, a different vibe, different energy when it's in front of a black audience. Me. I don't know about white people in front of a black audience. Who knows? But me. But me in front of a black audience, like it's so great. It's a wonderful like energy. Like exchange.
Okay, so when is Brown Sugar coming back?
When we get sponsors, aka money, and a venue.
Okay, all
we're working on it.
I'm gonna keep that in mind and keep thinking about, yes, the live music, yes, the spirits, yes, the being affirming to different shapes of black body and being able to just appreciate that with a little dance. Yeah. Even though folks didn't have to be dance professionals.
No, it's true. And we had different bodies, but also different ages. Like I had a friend of mine, Sepia Jewel, who's from San Diego, and she's in her 60s.
Oh, wow.
She does not look like it at all. But she's in her 60s, and she's out there doing burlesque, and people, like, loved seeing that aspect of age ranges, too. Like, burlesque is for everybody.
So that kind of makes me think about one of the things that I saw on your Instagram, and you can share your Instagram address, was that you were trying to put together, or not trying, you were putting together a history of burlesque and a history of burlesque in black community. A lot of times up until quite recently when I met, your Instagram, when I thought of burlesque, I thought of Josephine Baker, and that was it. And then this has a history and it had a purpose, right? Even if it was comedy and joy in some really trying times. We're in trying times now. Yes. But what is that history, and what is it that you are putting together in that regard? Yeah,
that's such a long answer I probably could give, but again, I'll try to condense it down. But a lot of the black history of burlesque is not there because, right, it was at a time when people were like, black people, they don't do anything. Let's erase them from things, so that finding that history is really hard, but we have some great people doing burlesque nowadays that are really heavily researching to find those people who used to do it and their stories. So what we do have are people like Jean Idell, who broke barriers. She was one of the first black people to be in a touring group doing feather fan dancing. And then there's Lottie the Body and Miss Toni Elling, who lived for so long. She passed away a couple of years ago, but she was a muse for Duke Ellington and things like that. That history is there. It just no one was writing about it or capturing it enough as much as they were with the white bodies that were doing burlesque, This tale as old as time.
But that's true. If we don't write our history, it won't be written, right? And even if we do write it right now, there is a concentrated effort to erase our history, right? So just you mentioning Duke Ellington, I can absolutely imagine some fan dancing going on, with this live big band and Harlem and all of the stuff that was going on there.
So much, yeah. And there's, like I said, people doing research now, like Leslie Cunningham. She's actually producing that's a long story. She has a documentary about jig shows back in the day, which was like an all black cast touring with like carnivals. I'm probably not going to say it all correctly, but that's her grandfather, I believe, was someone that started that, and they toured a lot in Canada, where it was like not as racially,
charged as it is here,
back in like the 30s and 40s. So she's putting together an exhibit and a showcase in New York today, like this year, which I'm going to be a part of, called Harlem and Havana, which is like her book that she also has. So she's out there doing the research too and like telling the story, but also incorporating newer performers, people who are doing it now, which is what I was trying to do in my little like quick reels on Instagram, is like say like this is where we come from. These are some of the people that you may or may not know, and then here are the people who are still doing it today. Like these are the people that opened the doors for us and inspired people that now carry on the history, are making history today, basically. Because I've come across so many people that don't know what burlesque is to this 2026, still don't quite have an understanding about it if they do know about it. And then on top of that, people who don't know anything that Black burlesque exists. Even Black people don't know it exists. And so I was like, okay, how do I get it out there so that people start to like see it more? Because I did a show recently with T.S. Madison. They were hosting a show I did in San Francisco, and backstage we were just chatting about burlesque, and T.S. was like, I only thought Dita Von Teese did burlesque. I didn't know people that look like us did it. And I was like, oh my God, there's so many.
It's lots of work ahead.
So many. Why don't people know? So that was like what charged me to kind of do a quick thing. And I didn't want to dive too deep into it because I'm still learning a lot of history. But I was like, what I can do is show clips of performers and tag them so that people become familiar with them.
How do you define burlesque?
It is the art of the striptease is how I would quickly define it. But in the past, when it first started out, it was very much parodies. Burlesque was known as like a show. It was a show, burlesque show, and it was about parodies of like politics, like making fun of comedy. And then somewhere along the lines, it got turned into like burlesque is striptease, part of a show. Part of a vaudeville variety show is the burlesque striptease element. But there was still always that, comedy and political satire and things like that in it. And then over time, it just got shifted into like a variety of things. So like comedy, but there's also like super sultry, sexy burlesque. There's also nerdlesque, which is like, nerdy, geeky, sci-fi.
How can
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Afro-future burlesque.
There's also that. That's also a genre. There's so many more genres now, but it started off as like political parodies, and then turned into striptease and sultry, and then kind of just branched out into multiple things. But yeah.
That's interesting. That's just fascinating to me, because then how, I guess, is burlesque different than striptease? Because there are strip clubs, right? And for instance, Atlanta is known for their strip clubs, but they don't seem to have as much class as burlesque.
Well, which is a lot of people will say that. Like I get a lot of comments that like, this is classy stripping, and I'm like, it's kind of cringy. I don't know. Like it's all it's beautiful. It's all art and it's all beautiful. And they I feel like work a million times harder than I do. Like I got to prep costumes, yes, but some they're out there doing it like hours on end. I couldn't do that. But I think I don't know. I guess the big difference might be the teasing element, as well as breaking that fourth wall, kind of, sort of. But sometimes you do go to strip clubs, and there are strip club performers who are also engaging with the audience. But burlesque is very much like I'm on a stage or I'm on a floor. Sometimes we're doing a floor show, right? We're just kind of mixed in with the audiences, dancing around. But we have this banter with the audience more so, I guess. I wouldn't say that is a strong defining separation. It's not, because it's all fused together. It's all kind of one and the same essentially, but that could be something people might make note of. And maybe costuming too. But again, like I know people that work in like, that are pole dancers who are adding rhinestones to their costumes, and they have a striptease element into it now. Maybe back in the day, not so much, but nowadays it's all, you know.
Yeah. So Black Women for Wellness had pole dancing classes. We also had belly dancing classes.
I love
so
those.
perhaps maybe we'll get to a burlesque class too. For me, it's always like a reason or something behind it. We started the pole dancing class to help people build their core, right? Because, and one of the reasons why we help folks want to build their core was because too many folks were falling, right? Especially as we were looking at older people, and they were falling, and you know, a fall, a hip break, right? And sometimes the hip broke and then they fall. But all of that could absolutely change your life. And so we were, okay, what do we do to help people build their core, and how do we make it fun, right? Because we like, let's do a pole dance class, and everybody giggled and showed up, right? So that's like part of what we do at Black Women for Wellness. We help folks find joy and bringing strength to their body and bringing appreciation for their bodies. So we can like navigate the world as queens, right? Type of thing. And I absolutely get that the striptease works hard. Not for me. But that's
it
where.
It is for you.
No. Wait a minute. I should say this, that I tease some of my friends that I'm going to be, when I retire, I'm going to do striptease, right? Yeah. And I had, like you, a male friend said, I got you with that, Jan, right? We'll go by the senior centers, and you can do striptease for the seniors, get them all excited, and then they can run fast, and you can, and go home, right? And so we had a whole little plan around that, right? In terms of how do I keep my body in shape, right? And be creative in trying to do that. So we are really at Black Women for Wellness trying to be creative in the things we expose folks to that will help them find joy, and then help them build their self-esteem and their bodily autonomy, right? Yes. So I was like real thrilled to find you, and when we came to your show, I brought the whole crew with me, right? And
grateful.
So,
thank you.
And we had such a good time, and they were like, "Ooh, yeah, let's do this. Let's roll with this." Right?
I would be happy to teach a class because, like I said, burlesque has taught me so much about myself, like so much, and the world, because I've seen a lot of places and seen a lot of things because of burlesque. Like, I'm very grateful that I got dropped into this and that I kept it going as much as I did, even when there's been like rejections and pushback and
not rejections and pushback.
Oh yeah. I recently got let go from a resident. It was like a monthly gig I could do. It was more of a Hollywood type of like 40 deuce kind of thing, where they were like, they want specific looks, and I got in there and I was doing it for almost a year, if not over a year, and then recently they were just like, yeah, we don't want her anymore because we want to hire specific looks now. Or not now. They want a specific look of dancer. And I was like, okay, I know what that means. Cool. Okay. And it hurt for a second, but then I was like, move on. Bigger and better things. Yeah. And I've spent like so much of my life trying to like get a seat at a table with white people in their like things. Create your own table. And so burlesque has taught me like I can create my own table and fit in somewhere where I'm accepted and loved.
Tell me about the music, and how do you live inside the music when you're
how do I do,
and how do you choose your music?
I
heard you say what, R&B covers or something like that, but I know what's the music? How do you get to that?
I dance to, I have acts to all kinds of music, from like R&B to rock to like electronic EDM kind of music, like whatever. I think I always say whatever makes me have like whatever gives me a feeling, an emotion, like in my core, that's how I kind of choose music for my acts. And music for me has to come first. Okay. Like a lot of people in burlesque will do they're more costume forward. So they're like, oh, if I create this costume, then the act will fall into place. But for me, I'm like, music first.
Okay.
And I feel like that is just like, right? Does it go back to like Africa, like ancient times, like Black people, you know, we love music. We love the drums and we really feel it in our bodies. And I feel like maybe that's like an ancestral thing that just carries on. And it's nothing that I ever like intentionally was like music first. It just was always in me.
What 3 songs are you doing now?
What 3 songs am I going to do, or that I have repeated on rotation, like acts?
What do you have? What acts do you have? Just 3. I know you have a lot. Probably you can choose from.
I do. Right now, the act that I won Queen of Burlesque with last year is it's called Without Whiskey, and it's by it's like a bluesy, jazzy, I say smoky kind of feel, but it's by this like 30-year-old musician from Belgium. Okay. And he's an amazing person. His name is Raman. Raman. I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly because I'm not from Belgium, but he's amazing, and I've actually gotten to connect with him in person. Like, he saw the act the first time I did it ever in Belgium. Okay. And he had never seen burlesque before. He didn't know what it was, and now we're like friends because of it.
So you found the music.
I found his song because a friend of mine was like, I want you to be in the show, but the theme of the show is Viva la Belgique. So do something Belgian. And I'm like, what?
Like, who? Belgian? Okay.
She's like, do you have any Belgian flag color costumes? I was like, no. Like, what do you want me to do? So she sent me all these songs by Belgian artists. Okay. And I heard that song, and the second I heard it on that playlist, my body like was like, I felt it. I was like, that's the one.
Okay, so you find the song, and then how do you put the outfit together or the costume together?
Because this one kind of had a different. I bought this robe, this dressing gown, this like flowy costume piece that was copper colored because I wanted to do something that was kind of, this is such a long story, but not. A classic thing in burlesque is like a martini glass, right? Like a big giant martini glass. And so
I was thinking whiskey because you said it was whiskey.
Yes,
something.
So
I thought, a little short with brown liquor.
Yeah.
Okay, I get
yes, thank you. So that's where that went. So I was like, I want to do that, but not that. So I was like, whiskey. I don't really drink whiskey, but I like the colors great. Like whiskey, Coke. People love that. You know, maybe I could do something that's similar to a martini glass. So I had this robe that was kind of a whiskey-esque coppery color. And I just sat in there because I never had a song that I really wanted to, that I was vibing with completely. And then that song came on and I was like, that's it. And that's the color and that's the costume.
So it's just a robe?
There's like, the robe is the top layer. And then underneath it's like heavily rhinestone. And I had a friend of mine, Varla Vavoom, who's like a costumer and rhinestoner in Los Angeles, and she's amazing. And she was like, I want to make you a sparkly costume because, which I so appreciate her. I feel like I cried the first time she told me that because she was like, I want you to be, she's like, you're an amazing performer with amazing energy. Everyone needs to see you, and I want you to be as sparkly as like Dita Von Teese is. So she was like, I will do this for you for free. Okay. So she like, it is the most rhinestone thing I have in my costume wardrobe. And she did it. It's like this pattern that almost looks like tiger stripes, but it's like, I told her my inspiration was whiskey. So she went with like all the various colors. Okay. And it is like the most beautiful and heaviest costume. And it's just a bra, a thong, and a corset. That's all. And it probably weighs like, God, it's like 20 pounds. It weighs a lot. It weighs a lot. Just 3 pieces.
I never think of costumes as weighing a whole lot.
They weigh so much. When I travel overseas or anywhere, my costumes are always put me over weight luggage constantly.
Rhinestones and feathers, or
when you put them all on one thing, it just like makes it, when you put it down on something, it just like weighs it down immediately. Okay. So if you see me twirling around and throwing things in the air, just know that it is heavy.
So this is how we build the arm muscles.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And you want those back, right?
Yes,
so someone has to come and get them. Okay.
Yeah.
So how much do costumes run then? They cost a little?
Yes. It really depends because, like I said, burlesque is accepting to everyone. So if you're a person who's like, I don't want rhinestones, I just want to come in a bra and underwear that I got from Target, it's possible.
Not Target.
You can do it. Not Target, sorry. Scratch that. That was supposed to get that.
Yeah.
Not Target.
They can go to Macy's.
Macy's. Whoever else you get or make it yourself. Like, vintage stores. That's also a possibility. So there's a way to do it that is, financially, works for whoever it is. But there are costumes that I look at sometimes and I'm like, I want a Dita Von Teese type heavily rhinestone costume. And that's when the money starts to pile up.
Okay.
And it's not
now,
something
are those costumes, I see you, like you said, twirling them around and stuff like that. And now I know that they're heavy. And I also know that you want them back.
Yes.
But because they're heavy, are they difficult to get out of? How do you negotiate
that is a burlesque skill, that's for sure. Getting out of clothing and costumes in a dance, in an artsy, like sultry, way. That is kind of tricky, and that's something that burlesque has taught me, and something I just learned from just moving around in them over time. Like you get your costumes start to kind of like mold to you over time.
Okay.
And then they just become easy. It becomes second nature.
But you had to do it a few times.
Yes.
I got it. Because I'm like, I didn't know they were weighty. Because like sometimes when I take stuff, I was like, everything falls.
Yeah, you're just like, throw it off. But and that's true. If something's heavy, it falls. But I have to know, okay, I have to make this look hot. So I got to figure out a way to hold this weight and also take my arms out delicately like it weighs nothing.
That's funny. Okay, so so what's the hardest part then about being a burlesque star?
The hardest part, let's see. I guess for me is dealing with rejection. I think that's a thing that's really big. If I want to go general,
rejection?
Bigger.
How do you get rejection?
If you approach a show and you're like, hey, can I be in the show? And they're like, no, we don't, we don't want that. We don't want that act. We don't, they wouldn't say, some people wouldn't say that to your face, but sometimes you can get a vibe. It's like maybe they want a particular look in that show.
Okay, so you are pitching then to production companies about, okay.
Yeah, sometimes burlesque happens. Sometimes people approach me. Sometimes I reach out to people, especially at the beginning when I was first starting out. When I was traveling a bit, I was like, hey, I'm coming to this city. What shows are there? So people didn't know who I was, so I had to give them photos and videos and things like that. Okay. And sometimes people are like, no, thank you. So the way my brain works outside of burlesque off stage is I will take a no and I'll think, oh my God, they must hate me.
You make it personal.
Yes, I make it personal.
Right.
And so I've had to learn how to it's fine. If that's what the issue is, it's fine. If they just don't want that because it doesn't fit in their show, understandable, move on. I've had to learn that over time. So that is a difficult part. I also think just a silly, not silly, but a fun in the moment burlesque thing that's hard is, traveling with heavy costumes.
Okay, that's costly.
It's very difficult. It's costly.
50-pound limit. Yeah.
I have carried my 100-pound suitcase over cobblestone roads, and it is the worst feeling ever. And you're just by yourself. You're just trying your hardest.
Okay, you need an entourage. Somebody to carry stuff.
I do.
Stuff, yeah.
So someone to do it for free.
Yeah. to be part of the entourage. Okay, so then what's the best part?
The best part is multiple best parts. The traveling, the connections I've made, the friendships I've built, the joy that it just brings me to bring other people joy. For a while I started out, people would come up to me after shows and they'd say, oh my gosh, you are amazing. I could see myself in you on stage. You're just so confident and that makes me feel confident. And at first I was dismissive, I don't know, for whatever reason in the beginning. And now I'm just that's amazing feeling to have someone come up to you and say that they saw you on a stage and that it brought them joy and it made them feel differently about themselves. That is so much fun. But also all the other things, traveling, friends, the things I've gotten to do because they're burlesque, this podcast.
Okay,
other
I'm
podcasts.
Just saying, Black women with opinions.
If it wasn't for burlesque, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
We don't know.
Maybe. Okay,
we don't know. Because, you have a day job.
Yes, I could have been there because of that. Yes, true.
Or for whatever other reason. So what's next?
What's next? I'm constantly trying to move to the UK.
Okay, why?
Because I love it there so much. This is my home, born and raised here, but I've never lived anywhere else in my life. Okay. And I went to the UK. I was obsessed with the UK culture growing up, for whatever, music, movies. I was always gravitating towards that. And I went for the first time in 2013, and I was like, this is where I belong. Like I just felt this energy of like, I belong here. So every chance I get, I go to the UK.
Okay.
And I have friends there. I have shows I do there. Like it's my other happy place.
Okay.
So I'm like, I have to like,
so you're
try to make a move there to see what it's like to live somewhere else.
Okay. So you're going to move to the UK and do burlesque there. No problem. You're just going to do it.
I'm just going to do it. Okay. You're right.
Yeah. You're just going to do it. Right?
I'm just going to do it.
All
yes.
right.
At the end of this year. Yeah, that's my goal. But also shows. I'm still going to continue to perform here.
Can we expect brown sugar anytime soon? Are you working on sponsors? Do we work on them with you? What?
Yes, all of the above. I would love some of the support somehow with sponsorships. But yeah, we're talking about bringing it back. But yeah, we need to figure out sponsors and find a venue to hold it in. Okay. You know, that gives that vibe that we had for other shows where it was just like this high energy vibe, you know, just everyone's
So do we need
together.
A big bar and enough room for like 250 people? What?
Yeah, about that. Okay. Even more if possible, but yeah.
Okay.
But we can also, you know, brown sugar is something that we also started because I wasn't seeing enough people, myself included, being booked for like private corporate things. Like, so in the burlesque world.
Oh, now that's kind of scary.
Yeah, but in the burlesque world, there are like people that have events, right? Like companies that hold events and they want to book a little burlesque dancer. And they I won't say never. Rarely is it me that gets booked. And so I was like, wait a second. There are Black people out there who have events that might want this. So let me show them what it looks like. And then they might also want to hire Black burlesque performers for their private events, so corporate events. So that was also the idea of brown sugar. So we're also able to take it, like condense it and make it smaller for whatever people want.
I got it for events now.
Yeah.
Lord knows I go to enough events. Woo-hoo. So suggestion, is there a union of Black burlesque dancers?
A union in the sense of
how many of y'all know each other?
Oh yeah, okay.
How many of y'all know each other? Yeah. How many of y'all know each other? Say, oh, we could book over here. That person is okay. They creepy.
There's a lot of us, and I think we all know of each other.
Okay.
Maybe not all of us know each other on a deeper level, but we all. I won't say we all, but most of us know about each other.
So you know about each other, but have you called a meeting yet? Or do you have your listserv? Or like I said, because it seems to me like when I think about private events, I also think, it's a lot of creepy people in the world, and you want to make sure you're somewhere safe, right? Or that the shows and the performances are somewhere safe, right? Because we want the joy, the bodily autonomy, the creativity, and the self-expression, but we don't want people groping us, and we don't want the creepy creepers, right? Yeah,
we don't. We can't stop them from coming in, but there might always be one.
But security,
we want the protection. Yes, exactly. Not a union per se, but a lot of people in the Black burlesque world, you know, kind of have groups, collectives, I guess, but not an official here are list of agreements that we all kind of have together.
But at least you have a list of who's who.
Yeah, we know who's who, exactly. Like, I was inspired by Jeez Louise in New Orleans. She was in New Orleans and Chicago, and she created Jeezy's Juke Joint, kind of going back to, the history of burlesque with newer people. And that's what inspired me to do, Brown Sugar Burlesque. And then we have Sadie Center in the UK who does the Cocoa Butter Club. Okay. And she has a collective of POC performers from all backgrounds, and she hires them out to events and festivals, and she has her own shows, and so that inspired me to do Brown Sugar here. So those things exist, but not official. Well, they are official, but yeah.
Do you think it'll get there?
I hope so. That'd be great.
I mean, I see it growing, maybe because I was just exposed recently to it, but it looked like a great deal of fun to me. Yeah. And I love the live music, and you have to have a good MC too. Yes. My best friend, he's Cuban. I'm saying that. It's not a white guy. Some of the people might think he is. But Tito Bonito, he's the most amazing MC ever. He was not, because Bobby DeCarlo was the MC, also amazing performer. When you came to that show, they were dressed in drag. But they're both great MCs, and that is very key
to get people excited and
And
interested.
to keep them.
Yes. Having like quick, being almost like a stand-up comedian. You have to kind of be on stage. You got to be quick and deal with the hecklers, because there will be hecklers sometimes even at burlesque shows. And you got to have someone who knows
like shut it down.
Yeah, how to shut it down, but in a gentle way, to not like aggravate people. But yeah.
Sometimes people need to be aggravated and shown to exit. So you just mentioned something just in terms of how close are you all to the drag world? Into the like RuPaul? Wow. Wow. Like, so are those two like sister streams of?
Yeah, I like to think we're similar and related, but drag is just taken off in the mainstream, and I would like burlesque to get there, but not fully, because then when it gets to be too mainstream, then people have even more opinions and they can misconstrue things and it gets muddy. But I would love to take it on a more wider scale, like drag has become, because drag was very much like burlesque, like underground clubs. Like you had to be in the know to know what it was. Like and see a show, you had to know the right people. And then it was
not anymore.
Not anymore. It's everywhere. Yeah. And sometimes I have a lot of drag friends who are like not too keen on Drag Race having been exploded like that, because it kind of messes up their gigs and what the expectation of what drag is. And
they do a lot.
Yeah. And I used to remember seeing drag for the first time, and it was very much lip syncing and, being like, I don't know what I would liken it to, but just being, just holding the audience's attention, walking around and doing a couple moves, but lip syncing. And now drag is like drop splits, death drops, dropping from the ceiling. It's amazing. It's all amazing, but it is a lot at times. I'm just like, don't your knees hurt?
Like,
my knees hurt.
If I felt like that, I would just have to lay there for a minute, and then call an ambulance, get me up, please.
But I do love it, and I do love drag in all its forms, and I do a lot of drag shows. I'm grateful that that community performers has brought us in at times.
Okay.
It's not always in Los Angeles that you see burlesque and drag together anymore, but it's starting to it comes and goes in waves. But places like New Orleans has a lot of drag and burlesque shows. Seattle has a lot of drag and burlesque shows together, and it's. Yeah, I like to say we're sisters.
Okay. I got it. Okay, so what do you need to tell me that I didn't ask you?
I don't know. I feel like we talked about a lot of stuff. Nothing that I can think of. Do you have anything?
Beyonce and Partition, and I know Crazy Horse is super big. Was that a resurgence of folks interested in burlesque, or how did it help that received?
No.
Moulin
Rouge was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think Patti LaBelle when I think Moulin Rouge. I don't know why.
Nicole Kidman. I don't remember what year that was.
Maybe 2000.
Yeah, because I started in 2009.
So I don't know. 26 years ago.
Don't say that. Oh my gosh, that was so long ago.
It was pretty recent with Partition.
Yeah.
From Crazy Horse.
Yeah.
Crazy Horse
I would love to see that. But no, we didn't get any that I know of.
Any get a boost?
No, not really. I would love Beyonce, if you're out there, please put me on a tour with you. I got to perform with Lizzo. That was pretty cool.
Yeah?
Yeah. I never thought that could be a possibility. I always wanted it to be I would love for an artist to take a burlesque performer on stage and do a little thing with them. And, I want to take burlesque to that level personally. Okay. I want to be in a movie scene. I want to be in a music video. But yeah, Lizzo did Pride in West Hollywood last summer. Yeah. And then they reached out to me because a friend of mine, they wanted Dirty Martini, wasn't available. So Dirty was and she's an amazing plus size burlesque performer, and she's an icon in burlesque, but she was I can't do it, but here's someone that I can offer to you. And that was so meaningful, not to I don't want to harp on it too much, but she's a beautiful, amazing performer. She's a white woman and she's amazing. But sometimes you get in burlesque, some people are I'm going to keep this and gatekeep it. But the fact that she was let me introduce you to this amazing black burlesque performer who's in LA. Not that she would never gatekeep it. She's not that person, but some people are out there like that. And I really so grateful for that, her having done that.
So how was it work with Lizzo?
It was really cool. We didn't like have a conversation like that, but like we did a rehearsal together like really quickly for one day, and then the next day we were on stage doing her song together.
Okay.
Like I did.
Was this when she was still? Because she's lost a lot of weight.
She has. No, she was pretty like not like skinny, but like she was thinner, like much thinner. This was last summer. So she's always been gorgeous, but yeah, just like in her little short shorts. It was super cute. It was so fun. Her dancers are amazing. I was in all of them, like standing side stage next to them, just being like, oh, I want to do that too. And then it was for my thing with her, it was just me and her on stage in front of like 1,000 people. It was really pretty epic.
Was that your biggest audience?
Yeah, maybe possibly. I've done other like festivals. I did the UK Black Pride Festival. It was my first festival I ever had done before, and that was in the UK in a park, and thousands. I don't know. I don't even know how many. Like there was a lot of people, and that was my first time.
That would be like a serious boost to my self-esteem if I could do a burlesque in front of thousands, hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Like they would be like, "Whoa, okay." It would have to either boost your self-esteem or like totally devastated. Totally devastated.
It was a little bit of a boost for sure because I didn't. It's just me for that Black Burlesque Festival, the UK Black Pride Festival. It was just me on stage on a massive festival stage in front of thousands of people, and I was like,
the jumbotrams too.
There was a jumbo screen, and I was like,
no,
I was just like, how does this?
I would see everything.
Yeah, because people think like when you think burlesque, you think intimate venue, and I was like, how is burlesque going to work with me by myself in front of all these people? I'm going to look like this, like a tiny little ant to some of these people, but the amount of like screams and energy that I was getting back was just so cool. Such an amazing feeling. So doing that with Lizzo too was just like that same kind of energy. It was just so cool to be like, wow, look how far I've come. Look what I'm doing now. Who knew this would happen?
Yeah. Well, or the other thing I would need would be an extreme amount of makeup, like all over the body. How do you all do the makeup situation?
I had to learn. I hated makeup before burlesque happened. I still don't quite like it all the time, but I'm used to it. Okay. But I remember going to prom in high school, and my mom was like, you have to get your makeup done. And I was like, I hate this feeling on my face. Like, I hated it. And then I took a burlesque class when I first started out, and they had a makeup course. And they were like, so let's talk about theatrical makeup. And I legit sat there, and I thought, wait, I have to wear makeup? Like, I didn't know that was a thing. Because I'm not a theater kid. I didn't grow up doing theater at all, so I had no idea that was a thing. So I went to a MAC makeup counter and had them do my makeup for my first show. And it's very different. Theatrical makeup is even bigger. Like, I'm still learning how to do that. You know, like drag makeup, it's like, that's theater makeup. Like, I would love to be able to do that. One day I'm going to make myself learn. But yeah, like, the makeup, I used to wear body makeup, and then it would smear on my costumes. Sometimes I wear fishnets, and they're uncomfortable because they're like sucking you in, like Beyonce fishnets, like the professional hold up ones. I love them. They make your butt look great sometimes, but sometimes they're also a pain. So
that's what I would need, though. I would need something that would hold everything in.
Well, so at the beginning of my career, I was like, I have to wear full coverage underwear, and I have to wear fishnets. I was like, I'm not doing anything less than that. And now I'm just like, let me wear the tiniest pair of underwear and no fishnets. And that was just like, I just grew into it. Being like, accept this cellulite, cottage cheese, stretch marks, accept it, like it. Here it is.
There you go. So back to body beautiful, body acceptance, all the stuff, the stretch marks, the cellulite. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate the conversation, and I'm looking forward to seeing you with all the folks you want to be seen with and on the stages that you want to be. And send us a postcard from the UK. We are known to show up there on occasion. Yes, we were, not last summer, but the summer before, we spent some time in London. Nice. And our webmaster lives in London. So, you know, we got people. Her name is Christina.
Okay, I was like, is this someone I know? I know someone who's a web. Not there's only one.
Her name is Christina, and she lives in the UK.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it.
Because we like international too, and we like to find where Black people are internationally doing whatever creative art they're doing, whether it's burlesque or cooking or doing a walking tour of Paris. So
I love that. More of that, please. More of all of that. But if you're ever in the UK and you want to see like anything, like recommendations, I'll give you recommendations. But Sadie Center, Cocoa Butter Club, that's like the jam always.
Okay, all right then. So thank you for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
I'm just saying, 2 Black women with opinions. 2 Black women with opinions. Janette Robinson Flint.
If you want to know more about me, Jessabelle Thunder, and see where I'll be performing, you can find me on social media, TikTok and Instagram, at Jess Thunder. Thunder has no vowels, so it's JESSTHNDR.